Good morning, my beautifully overcaffeinated chaos crew. It's Wednesday, May 28th, and if it smells like democracy is burning, don't worry. That's just the FAA budget flying coach with no landing gear. Today, we've got Golden Dawn offering Canada statehood like it's a Costco sample, SpaceX blowing smoke, literally, while federal agencies get slashed, and a former governor turned Homeland Security Secretary who once thought climate change was just a weather forecast. Yes, I'm reporting in real mom form, fresh-faced, sundress, and a side of dry shampoo, because some of us are holding it together with coffee and righteous fury. This is your SassCast, where policy meets pettiness, facts get fierce, and the only thing louder than my opinion is the laundry pile I'm pretending not to see. Let's dive in. Well, butter my maple biscuit and call it foreign policy. Golden Dawn just re-offered Canada statehood. Again. Yes, because nothing says stable diplomacy like pitching annexation to your neighbor on a holiday week. Trump has once again proposed turning Canada into the 51st U.S. state, this time as part of a sale pitch for the $175 billion Golden Dome missile defense system. The offer, Canada can either pay $61 billion to help fund the dome, or ditch their sovereignty and join Team MAGA, just a little casual nation merging to offset defense spending. Now, this isn't the first time he's floated this fantasy, and each time Canada has made it loud and clear they're not interested. They have healthcare, functional democracy, and Tim Hortons. Why would they trade that for American chaos and Waffle House fights? Still, Golden Dawn insisted Canada is considering it, which, for the record, Canadian officials immediately denied. King Charles even jumped in from across the pond to back Canadian sovereignty, making this whole thing feel like the geopolitical sequel to The Crown that no one asked for. Left-leaning outlets called the move absurd and authoritarian. Right-wing media praised it as bold physical diplomacy, and moderates mostly just wondered if we need a refresher on what the word sovereignty means. But regardless of the spin, offering statehood to Canada like it's a free trial of Amazon Prime is peak Golden Dawn. And if Canada's not interested, again, maybe he'll finally shift focus back to Greenland or Mars or deep end of Truth Social, something. While Golden Dawn was busy trying to buy Canada with coupons, Elon Musk was launching yet another Starship rocket into space and into chaos. SpaceX attempted its 9th demonstration flight Tuesday evening, shooting a 403-foot Starship into the sky from Starbase, Texas. And in true SpaceX fashion, it made headlines for not going according to plan. Again. This test follows 2 back-to-back explosions in previous launches, but this time, the rocket actually stayed intact before tumbling out of control mid-flight and splashing down in the Indian Ocean. Recycled boosters, mock Starlink satellites, chaos in the sky, it was giving Space Circus with a splash of landing finale. And while no one was hurt, commercial flights were disrupted, the FAA had to reschedule air traffic around the hazard zone, and somewhere in mission control, a very tired engineer whispered, maybe we don't try this during Mercury retrograde again. Honestly, it's a miracle nothing worse happened, especially now that the FAA budget is being treated like an expired Kohl's coupon. At this rate, air traffic control is just a guy with a flashlight and a prayer. Still, NASA's sticking with SpaceX. They believe the company will pull off significant breakthroughs soon, especially for their 2027 moon mission, where astronauts are expected to bounce between lunar orbit and the surface like high-tech frogs on vacation. So here we are again, another Musk rocket, another partially successful flop, and another reminder that SpaceX might eventually get us to the moon, but not without sending a few sparks flying on Earth first. And while SpaceX is busy trying to reach orbit without spin cycling a $1 billion rocket into the ocean, back on Earth, the Trump administration is launching its own foreign influence campaign, no countdown required. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem just took her MAGA Worldwide International, endorsing a far-right nationalist in Poland's presidential election. At CPAC Poland, Noem backed conservative candidate Karol Nawrocki, praising him as the strongman Poland needs to stay in the U.S.'s good graces. And yes, this is the same CPAC that now hosts international chapters like they're a political Starbucks. Her support wasn't exactly subtle. She spent over 20 minutes criticizing European leaders for, quote, letting in migrants and weakening their countries, while hyping Nawrocki as a guardian of sovereignty and border control. She even took a swipe at Nawrocki's opponent, calling him a train wreck, which ironically is the same energy her TikTok dog beheading scandal brought to the GOP primary buzz. More than just a rah-rah speech, this move signals rare, direct U.S. cabinet involvement in a foreign election. Her words strongly implied that if Nawrocki wins, U.S. support will follow. If he doesn't, well, better start brushing up on diplomatic ghosting. Critics are calling it election interference. Supporters say it's strategic alliance building. And the rest of us, we're side-eyeing the idea that Kristi Noem is now a spokesperson for international diplomacy when she couldn't even manage her way out of a puppy scandal without a full-blown PR meltdown. So while the U.S. cabinet is busy playing matchmaker for Polish politics and trying to export nationalism like it's a surplus of Velveeta back here on Planet Chaos, the headlines are piling up faster than ethics complaints in Washington. Let's hit the rest rapid fire. NPR versus the White House. NPR and 3 local affiliates are suing the Trump administration, claiming the executive order slashing public media funding is a First Amendment violation. Turns out defunding the press isn't exactly constitutionally cute. Student visas on pause. U.S. embassies have been told to halt all new student visa interviews while the administration rolls out a full-blown social media screening protocol. Hope your hot takes don't come with deportation paperwork. RFK Jr. edits the vax schedule. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has pulled COVID booster recommendations for healthy kids and pregnant women, despite pushback from every major health org. Anti-vaxxers assemble again. Trump to Putin. You're playing with fire. President Trump issued a fiery warning to Putin following stalled ceasefire talks. So basically, no peace, no progress, and plenty of side-eye from NATO. Missouri considers DNA database for gun ownership. A new proposal in Missouri would require all gun owners to submit DNA samples to a statewide database. Supporters call it forward-thinking safety. Critics call it Big Brother's hunting license. Whew. After all that, you deserve a break from the brink of collapse. The political circus has fire breathers, jugglers, and at least 3 clowns fighting over a unicycle. But let's not forget there's still good growing in the cracks. So let's rinse off the rage, scroll, and water our souls with something that actually restores faith in humanity. Here's your Tell Me Something Good. The garden grows in Kentucky. In Louisville, Kentucky, a group of women formerly incarcerated for nonviolent offenses just launched a community garden, and it's already feeding more than 100 families. The initiative, backed by a local nonprofit called Feed the West, is turning empty lots into edible hope. What started with donated tools and seedlings is now sprouting tomatoes, collards, herbs, and job opportunities for women trying to rebuild their lives. One of the co-leaders said it best. We're growing food, yes, but we're also growing trust, dignity, and a second chance. So if the headlines feel heavy, just remember, somewhere, a woman who once thought the system forgot her is now harvesting spinach for her neighbor. And that, my friends, is what resilience tastes like. And that's your Wednesday SassCast, brought to you by bad decisions in high places and the absolute audacity of reality. Remember, if you're feeling overwhelmed, undercaffeinated, or one headline away from screaming into the void, you're not alone. We're in this circus together, and yes, I'm bringing snacks. Drop your favorite WTF moment in the comments. Hit that like button like it's a panic alarm, and don't forget, when the world gets messy, we get louder. Stay loud, stay laced with facts, and stay allergic to fascism. See you tomorrow, Sass Machine, signing off.